Thank you. It's so nice for me to be able to welcome all of you from Omaha Bridges. It's good to have you with us. And I want to spend some time getting to know a little bit about what's happening there in your community. But if I would first ask you if you would just introduce yourselves. Marcus, would you like to begin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
My name is Marcus Bell, and I serve as the CEO of Omaha Council Bluffs Bridges out of poverty here in Omaha, Nebraska. So, my role is to oversee the whole organization. I do a lot with marketing as well, and also fundraising with different funders, foundations, and different donors around the Omaha metro area. So, very happy to be with you all this afternoon.
Well, thanks for making the time.
Yes, absolutely, Lynn.
Yeah. Carl.
Yes, I am Carl Jackson. I am Director of Life Skills Coaching for Omaha Council Bluffs Bridges. I meet with graduates from the beginning, working with them all the way through the program and after to help them to connect with resources, to set goals, to build ways to improve, to get ahead. I also do a lot of data analysis for the organization and kind of manage their IT that's on site because somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
But other than that, it's mostly graduate relations, just kind of staying in touch with all of our grads, keeping them on track to do better in their lives and listening to their stories of success and sharing that with our group.
That's wonderful. We're all about staying ahead.
Yeah.
So good to hear that. All right. Shantra.
Hi, my name is LaShantra Waits, and I'm a graduate of the Getting Ahead program, but I'm also a program specialist for Omaha Council Bluffs Bridges out of poverty. As a program specialist, I help plan and lead trainings and mentor contractor facilitators. We do track and input data for classes, collaborate with community partnership to present to agencies, facilitate classes, and help recruit investigators.
Whew, that's a mouthful. What year did you graduate?
2021.
Okay, thanks. Greg.
Yep. Hey, my name is Greg Smith, and I am the Director of Community Partnerships. And in essence, I network with businesses through Chamber of Commerce's, meet with businesses one-on-one, and my goal is to expand our footprint in the Omaha Council Bluffs metro area and line up the classes that we host. We offer anywhere between 8 to 12 classes per quarter in Council Bluffs, Omaha, and I do all the behind the scenes networking with those agencies, helping them set up that host site with that conference room and making sure everything's run smoothly. And if at all possible, they can help offset some of the funding costs for the class itself.
Got it. Thank you. And Teresa.
I'm Therese Nelson. I'm the Director of Programs for Omaha Bridges Council Bluffs out of poverty. And my job is pretty unique. I get to work with everyone on the screen. I supervise facilitators and hire facilitators and work with our contract facilitators to making sure that we are hiring and we're connecting with our community and that we have training that is really beneficial and helpful as they're working with investigators. I also collaborate closely with Greg and Dr. J and Marcus as well, just to build partnerships, but also check in and see how things are going with our investigators as they graduate, if there's things that we need to improve on. And then also with regards to just programming in general, looking at adding classes, looking at different curriculum, and then working with different agencies as well.
Got it. Thank you. Well, I've been around long enough that I can remember initial meetings with Roger Howard. But I just want to ask if whoever, one of you, please kind of give us a little bit of the history and the background, if you can do that.
Okay. Well, I can do that because I am the one that was here.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I know Roger from church. I knew him for years before he started this organization. But what happened was Roger was retiring from his accounting position and really wanted to do something in the community with his retirement. He didn't just want to sit around, and he needed an idea of. He was really kind of motivated to remove poverty in our community, and so he started looking for ways to do that. Fortunately, he was singing in the choir with my wife, who at that time was delivering a Getting Ahead program at one of the local shelters as a case manager. And so he thought that was a great program. And so they worked together, pulled in John Parsons, one of the great program developers in the community. And they just started working with AHA Process to create this organization. I was facilitating youth groups at that time with another local nonprofit. And my wife was the only facilitator for this organization as they got rolling. And so looking at her stressing out, I decided, well, maybe I could help. And when I came in to help, I think we had about 10 graduates at that time. And I was kind of moved by the whole idea of this curriculum. Yeah, I was a Master of Social Work student at that time, moving in. And then during that process, I got into a PhD program. And after about 2 years in, we had 100 graduates. And first year in, about 100 graduates. And the consensus was that we needed something to move them forward, a staying ahead plan. Okay. And so using what I knew from my schooling in the PhD program at this point, and what we knew about the staying ahead ideas from AHA Process, we developed a coaching program. And I came on full time about in 2017 as director of life skills coaching. From there, it's just continued to grow. Within a year, we had hired a new community liaison, a community coordinator. He was from the Latino community. And so one of his big pushes was, hey, we need to do Latino groups as well. So in 2018, we started doing Latino groups, and we needed a Latino coach. So I really, we found one of our graduates who was really exceptional, and she came on board as a coach and working with me. She's bilingual. And so from there, we have just continued to grow and grow. You look at everyone else on this screen came along in the progression of things. I think we changed in the evolution of our program is really it's good. It's impressive. We are making bigger and bigger impacts in the community. I mean, like I said, year one, we graduated 5. And now we're up to 1,500 graduates in year 7. By the next graduation, we're graduating about 100 each quarter. Yep. And so, yeah, this is good stuff. And that's kind of a brief overview of our growth. I mean, if you have any questions, I can answer them.
Well,
I can add to that too, okay. Dr. Jackson. And Dr. J, he's the veteran. He has been here from the very beginning, and we have definitely evolved. We have 10 staff members now, and we have 1,541 graduates. And last year we graduated 387. So that was our most that we have graduated in a calendar year. So just to see that progression is beautiful. I came on in September of 2023, and just to be able to see just the growth that we're doing in the Omaha and Council Bluffs community is really, really fascinating. And I just love being a part of this team and being a part of this mission.
Thanks. I always tell people if they haven't been to a Getting Ahead graduation, then their life is not complete.
Oh, true that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. And they're good. All right. Well, thank you for the background. And as you think about really, you said 10 staff. So current structure, obviously a CEO. You
Yeah.
have some other people.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just review that a little bit so that I
Yeah,
understand.
for sure, for sure. So we have 10 staff members. So 3 of us are admin. It would be myself. Joni Sovereigns is our director of administration. And then Sue Girding is our donor relations specialist. And then we have Therese Nelson, obviously, who is here with us. She is the director of programming. And then there are 3 program specialists that are under her as well. So LaShantra Waits, who is on here with us as well, Cheryl Perry, and then Samira Hernandez. And then we have Greg Smith, who is our director of community partnerships. And then Dr. Carl Jackson, he is our director of life skill coaching. And then he has also another life skill coach that reports to him, and that is Jaleesa Rivera. So that makes up our 10 staff members that we currently have, and that is our structure. We also have a board that oversees the organization as well. We have 11 board members as well. So we've had that board in place, I want to say, and Dr. J, you might know a little bit more. I think it was probably around 2017, 2018. We started off with maybe just a few individuals that served as a board, but now we've grown a little bit larger to 11 members as a board.
Thank you.
The other thing I will add as well is we have about 18 contracted facilitators outside of our staff. So those are the people who are going in facilitating our classes on a quarterly basis. So that makes up the structure of our organization for the most part.
I would think some days it's bustling around there. Lots going on.
It sure is. We're all going this way and that way, and it takes a village and it takes a great team, and we have an absolutely amazing team that is able to, we get it done together.
Which is how it has to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. LaShantra, you want to talk a little bit about your experience? How did you even learn about the Getting Ahead class?
Sure. I was working as a para and I needed some money. I was short on paying a bill. And I talked to the principal who directed me to Mr. Swanee, as we so affectionately call him. And he mentioned this class. And he said I would get a $300 stipend when I was done. And I really needed the money right then. But I agreed to take the class. And after the second week, I realized that it was more valuable than the $300 stipend. And I took everything in. I learned so much. I was in a housing situation with a predatory landlord. I was trying to get out of that. I was tired of working from paycheck to paycheck. And I have a degree, but it still didn't work for me. My credit score was horrible. I just had so many things going on mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And when I took this class, it touched on every one of those, like holistically. I was able to learn how I spent my time. I was also collaborated with Operation Hope, who helped me with my credit score, helped me budget. I was also connected to an organization called SCORE to help me start a business. I got my certification as a life coach. I got my LLC to do that business as well. I got my credit score up. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but just know that it is better than it was.
As long as it's up.
I was able to move with the resources of organization that helped pay my first month rent and my deposit. So that was a tremendous help because I was really stressing out about my living situation. And then I applied to be a facilitator part-time, contracted. and then I was hired on as a program specialist. I have used everything that I have learned. I still use it daily. I was able to put together a women's conference for my 50th birthday, and it was a dinner. There was 50 women, 50 years, 50 women, and it was a dinner, right? I didn't pay for anything. I used hidden rules. I used social capital. I used everything that I learned to be able to pull that off. I even had guest speakers come from out of state to come and speak. So every year I'm trying to do something, give back to the community, using everything that I have learned from getting ahead.
Thanks. What a wonderful testimony. And, you know, it's good for me to hear every day, just what a life-changing curriculum. Yeah. Got it. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
As you all of you, as you think about what the growth that we heard Carl talk about and life today, any lessons learned that you want to talk about, or things that you would pass on to other communities that are working on this?
Yeah, I'll mention. So we partner with 3 different hospitals in the Council Bluffs, Omaha metro area for the Getting Ahead in the Workplace classes. And we've been partnering with them for quite a while. But then we have looked at that, hey, let's try to get some more data from the HR departments to see how our cohort class is making a difference compared to the general population. And so our new partnerships coming up with future agencies and our new hospital that we partnered with, we put that in the MOU that if we can get 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years out, comparing our cohort population to their general population of professional trajectory, attendance, and all those other stats, I think it's beneficial for the hospital to see that. It's beneficial for us to collect that. And it's beneficial for us to grow as an organization within the Getting Ahead in the Workplace classes. So that's been a good angle for us.
Thank you. Good to know that. Yeah. And you know, data is so important when you're fundraising.
Yes.
And talking with those that are decision makers as well.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Any other lessons learned that other people can hear and take into account? Go ahead.
So what I've learned from work as a facilitator, and also a program specialist and a graduate, how important the impact that Getting Ahead has on individuals. I've seen people so proud just to graduate from something because they've never graduated from anything before. People don't want the class to end. They have started prayer groups and just friend groups, and the camaraderie that they have with each other and building friendships. There are people who have never been able to speak about their situation, their circumstance, and just to be able to sit and get that out. To self-assess is the most important thing that I've learned that helped me as well. Where I am, how did I get here, and how do I get out? What tools do I need to help me? And it's all available. And to be able to do that on every level is so important. And this is the only thing that I have encountered that does that. Everything is limited, but Getting Ahead is universal. It's not isolated, where you can help anybody in any situation. They can get something from it, and that's what I love. And I said, when I become a millionaire, which I am, I will
Okay.
I will still do this. I would never stop until God tell me to.
We've all got it marked. We're going to come back and check on it. Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, let's talk about a coaching lesson.
Yeah.
Something that I found out through these years of working with individuals is that so many people feel that they are alone. You know, they feel like their problems, their situation is they're all in this all by themselves. And then coming into this group, meeting these 10, 12 people who are kind of in the same situation, just kind of builds into their life like, oh man, I am not alone. It builds into them a sense of I'm not isolated. People really love the connection of having a family now. And that's something that we emphasize from the beginning, is when they join our group, you are part of our family. One of the biggest joys that people seem to have, and it's a joy for me, is when I reach back out, because I reach out to everyone at least every 6 months, but sometimes more often. But I get email back from people, from our first year, from 2017, who say, man, they just love the fact that we stay in touch. They just love to hear from us. They love to be a part of this family. And so that big piece of just camaraderie is something that individuals really, really need. And so the organizations, I mean, just a word of advice to all the other organizations as you move forward: stay in touch with your people. Keep talking to them, because people like to know that they belong.
Yep, totally agree.
Well said, Dr. J.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just going to add to that, because I think one of the things that I think is pretty special about the organization, the program, and even just the community that we have within that organization is that there's always an opportunity to learn and to build and to grow. And I think we've done a very good job of that. Like history, as Dr. J pointed out, that's evidence to that. And I think we are open to being flexible and learning new things and problem solving together, and essentially using all of the skills that the course really offers, not to investigators, but then being willing to have that kitchen table conversation with our colleagues, but with our co-facilitators, but through surveys or maybe conversations with investigators as well. And I think that's like Dr. J had just said too, just building on that social capital and continuing to keep those connections, because those relationships are so important and so helpful for all of us as we continue down this journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was saying absolutely, and if I can even give any lessons learned from the side of kind of the fundraising is, Dr. J has done a great job of tracking data over the years. So when we're going to talk to different funders and different donors, being able to have those metrics and that data is so important to be able to make the case for why a donor or why a fundraiser would want to invest in the work that you do. So keeping that local data to be able to even give back to some of the partners and say, hey, this is the impact that we're making. It really gets buy-in from other partners and other donors and other funders who want to continue to see and help us scale and help us continue to grow and help more and more people year after year.
Yeah. Are you offering the Bridges workshops as well? Is that part of what you're doing in the community to help people understand? Yeah. I see.
That's more of that's a Greg has been going out in the community speaking, just spreading the information. So yeah, he's doing a lot of workshops that are similar to the full Bridges workshop, but I think they're a little more condensed to include Omaha Council Bluffs Bridges plan for getting ahead groups and things like that.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's very much a tighter, compressed workshop, just sharing about the history of bridges overall, and then specifically sharing kind of what we do in the Omaha metro area, and then how we can get a partnership. So they're pretty small workshops. And we've partnered with quite a few different agencies. We presented 2 or 3 weeks ago to some high school students from a rural town here outside Council Bluffs, and then we've presented to a counseling department, and then some other agencies as well. But yeah, we do some small workshops. So.
Got it.
And Greg, I want to put you on the spot here and speak a little bit more about the partnerships, how you've been able to cultivate a lot of those partnerships. I know you've been here since August of 2023, but talk a little bit more about like how you're able to cultivate those partnerships and really build those relationships. I think those are great lessons learned.
Well, I've been told by a very wise person AHA process and Bridges Out of Poverty is a phenomenal program. So you just have to stay out of the way and let the talking do itself. And so that's kind of what I already do. But we are involved in 5 Chamber of Commerce's, and I'm trying to hit every ribbon cutting, every event, every opportunity that I can attend. And then I always have probably 5 to 10 to 15 business cards in my pocket at one time. Now, it's not like a creeper, like I'm not putting all the business cards out on the table, but we'll make a small conversation. And then someone will say, hey, did you hear about this organization? I'm like, no, can you send me that text? Or, hey, have you heard about Bridges? And so it's all that networking behind the scenes work. And then there's all these different galas and all these different events that all the businesses around the metro area promote out. And so if I can attend it, or someone else can attend it, one of us try to attend those. And then a lot of agencies will say, hey, we're having a block party and we're going to give you an opportunity to have a booth. Can you attend that? Absolutely. So we'll do all those events. And then, hey, there's a parade coming up, Cinco de Mayo parade, not too long ago. Do you want to walk in that parade? I'm like, absolutely. And we'll hand out the flyers. So we try not to close any doors whatsoever to network, because you don't know. I mean, I was just at an event this morning from 9 to 10:30, and I was mentioning our graduation ceremony coming up in June 22nd. And I said, hey, I would love to partner with more agencies. And after that conversation, 3 agencies sent me emails or gave me their business contacts that I didn't have before, that they want to partner with us for this upcoming graduation ceremony. So we're trying to get the word out in any way we can. So
Great. What do you see the future looking like?
Yeah, I can speak to the future as far as our organization. One of the things that have come out of some conversations that we've had as of late is, the work that we do and the facilitating, and then also what is done in the life skill coaching, and also the people that we serve. One focus has been around mental health and providing mental health therapists. So when we look at the future, what we would like to implement is being able to grant that access to a mental health therapist for our graduates, and also our staff and our facilitators, because the work that we do can sometimes be heavy. Some of the things that we hear and we talk about in our class are very heavy. And at the end of our quarters, when we do finish up our classes, we need to have an outlet. We need to have a healthy outlet, and being able to have that access to be able to grant to our staff as well as our graduates would definitely be, I think, life-changing, to be able to offer a mental health component to our program as us being a 501c3. So that's definitely something that we are working to get towards. That's going to take some funding, but there are funders in the Omaha metro area who definitely want to get behind that idea, because mental health is very, very important, and there's not enough access to underserved folks for that mental health therapist.
Thank you. Any last words? I want to again thank all of you for taking the time today.
I think there was there are a couple of things we wanted to speak on as far as future.
Yes.
I'll kind of pass that on to Dr. J. You could speak a little bit about the life skill coaching department. Okay,
yeah. Moving forward in coaching, we do believe, as the numbers continue to grow, that more coaching, a larger coaching staff may be necessary. We're going to move into that. But one of the things that I really am focusing on is a more aggressive coaching stance. Right now, we are passive coaches, where people can call us, and we'll work with them on their goals and help them to connect with the resources as needed. I would like to, in the future, have something where we have a more scheduled contact, coaches calling graduates, seeing how they're doing, at a more rapid pace. How's your goal? We set this goal, maybe even more often checking in with goal achievement. Right now, I just rely on them to call me because, we have 1,541 graduates. I can't really call everyone, but it would be great to have a staff, a personnel that, could go through the list and contact people, see how we're doing, can get more frequent updates. We're working on a dedicated website that will allow graduates to do their reassessments and then check their results, a more on point comparison where they can actually look at the results from last 6 months to this 6 months and get to see it without having to contact me. And I can send them copies, but I would like to have that more automated where they can check in on their own, be able to converse with me through the website on a more direct basis. So, those kind of things, that kind of growth. I also would like to be able to have a closer relationship with the resources that I refer people to in the community, because we do have a lot of partners who are doing a lot of great things, and they're always they're always available to us. So as I speak with grads and investigators about goals that they're trying to set or resources they're trying to connect with, I have a large list of people that I can go to in different organizations like Unite Us and things like that allow me to find these resources and connect them with them. I just want to build a more a better relationship with these organizations, more face-to-face talking. There's a lot of turnover in a lot of these organizations, but I would like to still, when they bring someone new in, that I could meet this person and let them know that I'm going to be sending you people,
Right.
Those kind of things. But yeah, the growth, I think that with the growth of our grads, the number of people coming in, and then with the growth of our ability to coach them, I mean, the impact on our community, I mean, it's already huge. But to be able to do this at a larger scale, continuing to grow that scale, and we won't work ourselves out of a job because ours is about relationship. But we would work ourselves into a different type of relationship where we won't be just a support system, a resource hub, but we would be colleagues and co-conquerors, I guess. We are all head together. Yeah.
Yeah. And then thank you, Dr. J. And then lastly, I wanted to just pass it over to Greg and Therese to talk a little bit about the getting ahead in the workplace, and then maybe some of the programs that we currently have, and then just a little bit about what we're going to be kind of delving into as far as programs that we're looking for the future.
Thanks.
Sounds good. All right, so I'll go ahead and just start. So right now we offer Getting Ahead, just the baseline Getting Ahead in English and Spanish. We do offer classes in person, and then we also offer online. This next quarter coming up will be our first online Spanish class, so that's pretty exciting. We do also offer Getting Ahead in the Workplace. As Greg talked to earlier, we have partnerships with 3 different health systems within the Omaha Council Bluffs metro area that we have partnered with us to facilitate classes for their employees. We are also looking at expanding that so that it includes Spanish. So we just, Greg started having some conversations with some partners and agencies, and now we're looking at how we can offer that class in Spanish. And then we are also connecting with correctional facilities within the area. So we met with Pottawatomie County Correction Center, which is actually in Council Bluffs, and then Omaha Corrections, and then Sarpy County, which is right next to Omaha area. So just really good conversations. We're working on developing lesson plans to go along with those programs, and then also coordinating with Dan from AHA just to try to see how we can offer those classes in more of a condensed time frame so that we're hitting people aren't only attending a week or two at a time, they're able to get through the entire class. And we also partner with our partner in Lincoln. She's pretty great too. So they just started a Lincoln Bridges Out of Poverty. And so we do some things with her and then bounce some ideas and go that way as well. So Greg, what would you like to add?
All right. A couple things I would like for the long-term goals would be to partner with these agencies that have the Getting Ahead in the Workplace, that they have it baked into their budget for all onboarding. All the staff will be taking our class, and then that helps set the foundation for their future growth as an organization. I just visited with an organization a couple of days ago, and they have a leadership class that's about 15 to 20 hours after the employees have been established for quite a while. But she said, how wonderful would this be to have a Getting Ahead in the Workplace as a foundational beginning class for all our employees. And then after they've taken that class, they can apply to the leadership class. And I was like, absolutely, that would be a wonderful opportunity. So to have that baked into a lot of organizations' budgets for sustainability for us, I think that's a great partnership. I also would say too, when we look at agencies and we look at geographic locations, when we set up our 8 to 12 classes per quarter, we are very strategic in making sure we offer a variety of different partnerships. So it might be a community college, it might be a social service that reaches a Hispanic population, it might be a school, it might be a hospital, it might be a Habitat for Humanity, it might be a local shelter. We just signed a contract with Vita Nova, which is a location that has overtaken an abandoned very small college, and they've overtaken that and flipped it and making it a residential facility for expecting mothers. And with our contract, we will be offering classes with them for all mothers that will be at that residence. So to have those wonderful opportunities to expand and network with the new agencies is pretty exciting for us because we know that that's our future growth. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think, oh, sorry, Marcus. I was just going to add, we've talked to you about the correction centers. If there is a way to offer the class, the Getting Ahead while Getting Out class to those who are getting ready to transition out, but then also offer Getting Ahead and our rules to families as that process is happening so that the transition is even more smooth and everybody's speaking that same language that comes from the curriculum and the program. So I think there's just a lot of really great opportunities and great brainstorming sessions that, that we have that we continue to add to our list. That's for sure.
Thanks. Never a dull moment.
No.
That's right.
It's okay. That's okay. Well, thank you all very much for sharing what's happening there in your area and for really just kind of giving us an overview of the growth in the last few years. I'm hoping we can check in with you maybe in another year and see what all's happened.
Yes, absolutely. Please check in. You know where to find us.
We do. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.